Hey, it's great to have you along. I'm meteorologist Andy Parker alongside meteorologist David Vogan, providing an update for you because we're switching to snow out there tonight. It happened today, David, and we've got the video to prove it. Our friends down in Jamestown at Western New York News Now got out and shot this. And no, that's not fake snow. That's the real stuff falling from the sky. And those are some pretty big flakes, huh?
Yeah, those are pancakes falling from the sky in Jamestown. And, sooner or later, we're going to see some more snowfall, not just for Jamestown tonight. I mean, they're already seeing snow right now, but we're talking about the hills once again. And that snow line that's been in, far south ski country, it's starting to inch its way up to the deep south towns and even into portions of the south towns or the northern south towns eventually.
Yeah. Yeah, let's get to this. This is live Doppler as you're looking at it right now. And what we're starting to see is the mixing beginning. We've got reports, I believe you pulled up Jamestown. They're already seeing light snow. We've confirmed it around Lakeview as well. Let's go up into the south towns. And we've had some reports of the mixing in a couple of the communities. Which ones were mixing, Dave?
Oh, East Aurora. So right around Route 20 is where you're seeing that mix of rain and snow. And you can see also out towards Holland. Once you go up the hills up there, Arcade saw some flakes as well. But if you're further to the western side of Erie County, we're talking about the shorelines of Lake Erie. That's what we're seeing, mostly rain from Blaisdell and even into the south towns there.
Yeah, you got it. Hey, let's go into the city of Buffalo. They were battered today. Portions of South Buffalo were getting some pretty good, I think it was snow, but you guys be the call. Take a look at the video. And what is sliding off of the house? Is that graupel? Is it hail? Is it all of the above? What is it?
That's what we call grapple, but it's really a hail snow mix out there in South Buffalo. It was pouring buckets, but you can see as we loop the video right there, it was accumulating. I mean, this came down fast, and it was accumulating on the roof right there, and you can see it even just shoving down to the ground. I mean, it's just sliding down that the gutter on there.
Hard to tell what it was, but it was yuck. Hey, North Towns, we've got you covered. We're watching. Let's bring this full and show everybody what's going on. Some rain showers up there. It was yesterday. Niagara Falls, Lewiston, and our friends in Southern Ontario were absolutely pummeled by lake effect rain. Tonight, it's a lot lighter, isn't it?
Yeah, Lockport, a drizzle, Tonawanda, Niagara Falls. I mean, you folks saw some heavy rain over the past couple of days. This is not heavy. This is dodgeable drops. You don't need the umbrellas for this, but if you have to walk out to the car or run out to the car again, it's not going to create any issues. It's more of a nuisance. It's really once towards you get to Elma Center, Thruway, down to Holland, East Aurora, even in the Wyoming County, Warsaw, seeing some of that heavier rain, snow mix. Again, well away from the shoreline of Lake Erie. Lake Erie really preventing those flakes from developing because it's still in the 50s, Andy.
Yeah, I mean, people in Derby were saying, how much snow? And now you're way too close to the lake. Hey, we've got some great images. I know you're a storm chaser and you get a lot of things in real time. Tell us about what we're watching right here.
Oh, those are lake effect clouds swirling over Sun Life Marina. I think it was a couple of weeks ago, Andy, that marina was filled with boats. Everybody got the cue. Hey, I think summer's over. They came over and they took out most of the boats out there, but this is lake effect clouds swirling over downtown Buffalo. You can see that in the distance. Yeah. And this afternoon, it was just on and off sheets of rain. And what we showed you earlier, that hail graupel snow mix just pummeling the ground in South Buffalo.
No, interestingly, no water spouts out there today. All right, we've talked about what's going on right now, showed you some neat pictures. Let's get to what is going to happen. And feel free to ask the questions. We're seeing a few on the side there. Hello, Mark. Hello, Gary. Let's bring this full and take everybody through time and kind of explain what to expect. So here we are right now. So let's go ahead and bring everybody into the overnight. Look at what happens right in here. That lake effect band begins to intensify and starts targeting some of the deeper south towns, right?
Yeah, it's that snow line that we were talking about creeping closer further north. I mean, Jamestown, Olean, Wellsville, you folks have gotten the action the past 2-3 days. Now, once we go just in time for the morning commute, it is going to be a messy one, especially South Towns, Buffalo. Good idea just to leave a few minutes early. I'm sure that the rain and even rain snow mix can't rule that out for some of the very populated South Towns, Orchard Park, Hamburg. Yeah, it's going to be a messy commute into Buffalo tomorrow morning.
What we're putting on the screen right now, what you're seeing is at 3 a.m. So this is tonight. Here's a couple of comments. Ilya saying, not great ice cream weather. No, it's not over there at Route 20 ice cream. We love you. Thanks for popping in. And Scott says, great radar. He loves it in the forecast model. This is the kind of detail you're not going to get on TV, and we're happy to do this one-on-one here. Thank you. Lancaster, getting any snow? Let's go ahead and answer Tim's question. What do you think, Lancaster? Watch what happens here, and it's going to be a close call. I think you're going to see some slush. I would say I'll put $1 on Lancaster, possibly getting some slush. And when that happens, it's going to be between 5 and 7 a.m. What do you think, Dave?
Yeah, I mean, look how organized this band is. Today, it wasn't really organized. You saw that on and off shots of rain. This is more of a continuous rain snow mix that slowly inches up to on the doorstep of downtown Buffalo right around between 6 and 8 o'clock in the morning. And it's just going to sit on top of the Buffalo area, the North Towns area for a good majority of the morning. But if you're traveling on the thruway, you could see that line of snow extending from Attica into Batavia. Again, this is right around 6-8 o'clock in the morning, and this could create some very minor issues, but still, it's going to be a messy one. That's the 400, correct?
Yeah.
Going all the way from East Aurora
let's go
into
through.
West Seneca.
Let's get into Tim's backyard here in Lancaster, Depew. Look at how close this is. I think this is going to be we've had a couple of near misses and maybe some grapple, but look right in here. We said at about there's 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, and that's Lancaster. But what I want to do is help some other people out here as well. Let me bounce this back out, and I want to touch on the timing here because this is now 10 in the morning. Look at the city of Buffalo squarely in the sights of this lake effect band, and it is going to be pretty close. And it's good timing too because Cheryl says, "How's the metro looking?" AKA South Buffalo. Cheryl, South Buffalo is underneath some of that pretty intense stuff right there.
Yeah, and again, we saw hail in Buffalo. It's definitely a possibility. I mean, rain snow mix, not out of the question, but that is going to be some very heavy precip in the form of rain or even snow falling in Cheektowaga, Williamsville. I know there's a lot of folks out there, and I know there's a lot of other questions that are being thrown into this live stream right now. David is from Hamburg. He's watching near Boston, near the Boston Hills. He's wondering, hey, any snow in Hamburg near Boston? And I will say, maybe not tonight, but Thursday morning, absolutely a possibility.
Oh, yeah. Let's back this up a little bit because Hamburg is one of those places where it has a lot of different elevations. The lake shores, no, but look at the rain snow line. Now, he mentioned Boston. So the Boston Hills along the 219, I think your best chance is going to be in these that same 5 to 7 o'clock window. Now, here's the thing. It's not going to spend a ton of time. Let's bring this full because watch how fast this thing goes. It is not there for long. And this is going to go right in here. And there it is. It only takes a couple of hours, but that is going to be enough to put some slush down the city and then Depew and then on inland. So let me bring the North Towns into this because I know we've got some folks watching up there. As a matter of fact, Kamar says, is Niagara Falls in the clear one last time? Let's take a look at this. And he was worried about the weight of the snow. I don't think we're worried about that much snow in Niagara Falls, but I'm not going to say you're in the clear because watch where this goes. And the timing of this is now 1 p.m. on Thursday. This thing doesn't quit, David.
No, I mean, it goes over Grand Island up to Niagara Falls. it's going to be a messy one if you decide to go out and leaf peep. I mean, that's around between 1 and 4 in the afternoon. The reds, the yellows, that's indicating some very heavy rainfall out there. Again, for those of us that's going to be near the shores of Lake Erie. But yeah, I mean, the good news is if you look well past this, if we go into Thursday evening and the overnight hours, finally, this is going to die on down, but Niagara County, Lockport, Albion, Orleans County, you're going to see another round of rain and snow up there.
Hey, Dave, you mentioned it. Let's do that. Let's take people from the dinner hour tomorrow. So Niagara Falls is messy at dinner, and look at how quick it ends. Finally, this 4-day Lake-a-Palooza, as I've called it, ends after dinner, and it just kind of dissipates, and then that's it. That's all she wrote. You'll be golfing by the time you hit the weekend, and we can say that confidently because there it is. Finally, we've had Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, if this was all snow, I'm telling you, you wait another month, another 5 degrees, and this would have been a legendary early season lake effect event for all the wrong reasons, wouldn't it have been?
Yeah, Tim just commented, hey, it's too bad it's not a month from now. This would be an epic snow event.
I just saw that one,
Yeah, but you know what? A famous weatherman, Tom Joles, he would look at this forecast for the weekend and say, it's going to be salubrious. I mean, 60 is going to feel wonderful. 15-degree jump. I mean, you're going to basically put away the winter jackets Friday and Saturday, and we're talking about 70s on Sunday. So, we're going from the 40s, rain and snow, to 70s on Sunday. Going to be a beautiful weekend just to get out there and enjoy it, Andy.
Yeah, 100%. You know what? I was going to put this up before, but with all the bad news we had, I figured let's save Cheryl's comment. She's the biggest cheerleader. Fill the screen with likes. I'll take this moment. Just smash that like button on this alone. It helps us out, and I know that you guys are going to love to see those 60s and 70s. I mean, wow, talk about October. If only the kids were trick-or-treating this weekend, because I'll go down the end of the month. It might go back again. This is going to be one of those very interesting months. She goes, what is the Friday and the weekend looking like? So there you go. We answered those questions. Happy to do that. A month from now, this would be an epic snow. I love that. Thank you. I'm catching up on a couple of the questions. Let's go back real quick to this, because what I wanted to touch on for the folks that may have just been joining us, this is the predictive model that's going to take us into basically everybody's locked in on this solution. There's not a lot of chance to this or, hey, this is going to change. This is where it is right now. And then this is the time period where the deeper South towns, and we'll take you down there, have their chance. And the communities here, David, you named them. Some of the ones that have maybe seen a couple flakes, but these communities actually have a chance for it to stick, don't they?
Yeah, Holland, East Aurora, I mean, we're looking at the snow map. So what we're looking at is the lighter blues, the darker blues. Those are the areas that have the best chance to see some accumulating slush, 1 to 2 inches of snow. Franklinville, Cattaraugus, Springville, once you're driving up 219, the Genesee Road exit. I mean, those are usually the same culprits. But what I do want to show you and zoom in a little bit closer to pop some more communities on there. Yeah. You see 240 right there. Is that snow line creeping on up. And by the way, this is from tonight into Thursday morning. So somebody was watching from the Boston Hamburg area. You can see the light grays popping up on the screen. That's an indication, you're going to see a rain-snow mix go up some elevation down 219, Springville, Delavan, Arcade, Franklinville. Better chance for that snow to stick to the ground. And of course, Jamestown, we already know it's snowing, and temperatures, I mean, put it this way, temperatures right now in Jamestown, 33 degrees. You want to know what the wind chill is, what it actually feels like with that gusting wind over 20 miles an hour? It feels like it's 23 degrees in Jamestown. So it's snowing in Chautauqua County. But for up here, for the shorelines, just do a little bit of a tour here. Hamburg, the immediate shorelines, all the way into Lackawanna, West Seneca. You don't have the temperature profile for this to stick right now, but of course, talk about it within a month. Then we're going to see the winds begin to change here.
All right, hey, watch this. We want to prove that it is snowing down there. take a look at this. This is the live camera, the Chautauqua Lake Association, partners of ours. We've got a weather station and a camera right in Lakewood. Now, this is the view as you look out over Chautauqua Lake. Those are not raindrops. That is snow coming down in Jamestown. Absolutely, that's what's happening right now as we're starting to see some of that chunky rain, if you will. There's probably some raindrops, but there's some snow mixing in on all of that as well. It is, I guess, unless you really, really love winter, this isn't even like a good snow. This is kind of an ugly snow, if you will. And I want to go back to your map, David, and touch on this. So take us explain what the light blue versus the gray is real quick.
Light blue, you've got a good chance of seeing a slushy mix on the ground. Walking outside Thursday morning, snow brush, probably gonna have to brush some of that wet snow off the car for Arcade, for areas in Franklinville. If you're living along 242, Ellicottville, Cattaraugus, Little Valley. If you're in the lighter gray, Gowanda, for example, a mix of rain and snow for you folks. I wouldn't be surprised if some of that stuck to the ground, but the greater chances of seeing that snow stick to the ground is going to be into the areas that are the lighter blue, the darker blue here, Ellicottville.
Hey, can I jump in? Yeah. This would be the third morning. Ellicottville woke up to snow on the slopes. What was it? Was it Monday morning, Tuesday morning, or Tuesday, Wednesday? I think it was Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday today. So this will be the fourth day. And I know Perrysburg, we've gotten images from Perrysburg and reports that they've had at least a half-inch of slush, just as you describe it, on the grass. Maybe not the road surfaces or sidewalks, but that's it. Hey, take us to the northern extent of this. How far north? We've been talking about the South towns, but there might be that rain snow mix sneaking all the way up the 219 into the deeper sections of Hamburg and Boston.
Yeah, I mean, look at that cutoff here. North Boston, definitely rain snow mix. Hamburg, a little bit too close there for being to the shorelines of Lake Erie. You go up to East Aurora. They were seeing a rain snow mix this evening. Orchard Park, wouldn't be shocked to see a rain snow mix tomorrow morning as that band lifts north. And then widening out the view, this extends all the way into Attica, Alden, just to the south of Batavia. And we were just looking at one of the models that you were showing, and the divide of where that rain snow mix was. I mean, Batavia at one point between 7 and 9 o'clock, it was all blue compared to the city of Buffalo, where you were seeing that mixing, Andy.
Yeah, let's jump into this. And again, if you're joining us, I saw a whole bunch of people just piled into the room. If this is a live stream, we're taking your comments live. Pop them in there, and we'll answer your questions. What you're going to see right now is the predictive map. This shows you where it is right now, and then Dave and I are going to take you through time here. So if you've got good eyesight, you can see it up there at 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night, 11. Watch this get organized at around 3 in the morning. And in Boston and Springville, some of the sites. But look at Wyoming County, Dave. Between 3 and 5 a.m. is going to be the best chance to put that down. And then let's move this ahead just a little bit as we get into that morning rush, that maybe 5 to 7 a.m. and toggle it here. Let me zoom in and talk about who's getting this.
Yeah, on doorstep of Buffalo, right around 7 in the morning, but Attica getting snow, Batavia getting snow. So if you're making that route on the thruway, I know a lot of folks travel from Buffalo to Batavia or Depew, and you have to use the 90 to get there. Just take your time, because it is, we're not talking about blinding lake effect snow here for Genesee County. We're talking about, wet snow falling that could create a couple of minor issues. So just to be safe, take a few miles per hour off the speed limit
the shock
from Batavia to Buffalo.
Let's be honest. It's the shock to the system that people are going to feel. Hey, Laura, thank you very much for popping in. We appreciate all your comments. Let's take you a little further into time here and move this along. Now, watch what happens as we get to around 8, 9 o'clock in the morning. This thing is squarely in the city. So South Buffalo, West Seneca, Cheektowaga, Kenmore, Williamsville, Harris Hill, and then and watch this. So as you know, it doesn't just hit the city, but it might be raining in the city. The city could get another shot of snow. Look at Clarence, Akron, right along the thruway, all the way out. Anything that's in blue has an opportunity to switch. And I believe if we can take a wider view of this might go all the way to Rochester in one form or another. And then this is at 10:20. So the question I think we're asking is, how long does this last? Look at Niagara Falls. Anybody in here in the North Towns? Lockport, the worst weather of your day. What do we got there on the screen, Dave? About 1 o'clock
between
or so?
1 and 3 o'clock. Yeah, between 1 and 3 o'clock. That's in the Lockport area. And Lockport, you saw some really good rainfall yesterday. You're about to get another round of lake effect rain and snow mix up there into Niagara and Orleans County once again.
You got it. So when does all this end, right? We're here to answer the questions. And so many people will show you the radar and show you where it is raining. This is going to show you where it's going to be raining. And as we go a little further, we keep watching this. And I mean, this is now, what do we say? At 1 in the afternoon, 2 in the afternoon, 3 in the afternoon, 4 in the afternoon. Niagara County is going to be ugly. I think sections of the southern tier still get an opportunity for some snow showers tomorrow during the day. But Niagara County, let me bring this full. Niagara County is going to be maybe the worst weather when you pound for pound. But then watch this. All of a sudden that dry air comes in. And as fast as lake effect can develop, Dave, it disappears too.
Yeah, so not only is your morning commute going to be affected, but your evening commute is going to be impacted as well. You could see that band slowly again drifting right between 4 and 6 o'clock in the evening back into the Buffalo area. And it's not just the Buffalo area that's being impacted. I mean, it's the thruway, it's the 190, it's the 90, it's the 990. I mean, UB, we haven't called you folks out. You're going to be getting rainfall as well. Akron, Oakfield, Medina, Orleans County. I mean, a lot of folks are going to be impacted by the lake effect band.
And that's why we're doing this tonight, because this is going to have such a large impact. I mean, it's the footprint of this lake effect. When we go back to this map, it's really going to get everybody with something. I'm going to rewind it one more time. I saw a whole bunch of folks just piled into the room. Any predictions of accumulation in here? Stacy, great to have you along. Awesome profile pic, by the way. Totals for snow. Dave, I think we did this, but let's go ahead and bring it back because, like I said, we got a bunch of people who just jumped in. So this is the snow total map. If you're in the light blue, it's kind of a foregone. You're going to have stuff on the ground. If you're in the shades of gray, you're going to end up with the potential for slush. Outside of that, I think you're going to see some snowflakes, maybe some windshields have it on it, but you're less likely to have it accumulate. I think we looked at this and said a couple inches of slush in the light blue, that is entirely possible by the time we roll into the end of the day tomorrow.
Yeah, you know, I think if there's one area, one region of Western New York that does not mind the snow, it's ski country, right? In the light blues and the dark blues, that's a good indication you're walking out to slush Thursday morning. So this map is for tonight into Thursday morning at 7 o'clock. And widening out the view a little bit, you can see this wide swath of good potential for snow sticking to the ground from Cattaraugus, Little Valley, Franklinville, Springville, Jamestown. We told you, we showed you, it's snowing right there. Salamanca, again, the hilltops, the areas that are going to be colder compared to the shorelines of Lake Erie, where Lake Erie is keeping us warmer from Dunkirk, from Evans, Hamburg, Blaisdell. You know, can't rule out a mix of rain and snow, but in terms of accumulation of needing the shovels, you don't need that yet up there in Evans or Blaisdell or even downtown Buffalo, thanks to Lake Erie. But for the folks that are going to see the slushy mix of accumulation, getting out the snow brush, brushing that off your cars, Arcade, Franklinville, the areas that are in the dark, the light blue. That's a good chance for that to happen once you're walking outside, going to work Thursday morning.
These are the questions everybody wants. Now, I know we've got the nice weather coming in, and we'll pop that on the screen. This isn't gloom and doom. You get through Thursday, and it's all done, and I'm going to take this opportunity, and again, Cheryl said it best. Fill the screen with likes. If you have a moment, if it's not too much trouble, if you're on your phone, hit it there. If you're still using, a mouse and you're on a laptop, go ahead and do it that way. It's interesting. Anybody in here, do me a favor. If you're watching us, tell us how you're watching. It'd be very interesting. Are you on a phone? Are you on a tablet? Are you sitting at the couch? Are you throwing this on YouTube, on the TV, because we're streaming on all these different channels? It'd really be cool if you just took that moment. It'd be some great feedback for us, just to see how you're receiving this, because we are streaming on a bunch of different things. We've got there's the first iPhone in here. I suppose we could do the iPhone versus Android battle. So I've got the one Android here, but we'll see what happens. That is that's the forecast going forward. And then as we start thinking about what's happening again, this is the timeline. And with folks just coming in now, that's what you have right now. This is what we're going to have as we go through time between 3 and 5 a.m. for the deeper South towns. This is where we've got a shot at some accumulation, especially on the hilltops. Once you get into Lancaster, Buffalo, that is going to be, what we'd call, is that mid-morning there? 8 o'clock mid-morning? 9 o'clock?
I think a lot of people have to be at work by 9.
Yeah,
so, a lot of people are awake at that point, but
yep.
Yeah, I mean, 8 to 10, there it is on Buffalo. A lot of rain. I mean, that's that will be a messy commute. And anytime you get heavy rain, people slow down. You're going to see a sea of red lights on the freeway heading into Buffalo.
Sign of the times. We did the iPhone there. We appreciate that. Scott, Stacy says she's on a phone right now on Facebook. We've got Tim on a cell phone, and Marty said he's multitasking, waiting for the scout meeting to end. I did that earlier this evening, Marty. Good to see you. Hey, buddy. A tablet, first one of those in here, a nice bigger screen, and then Facebook on the computer. But everybody's getting their weather digitally. Kamar's on an iPhone. There's Facebook on an iPhone. We look better on the small screen anyway than than on the big ones. Hey, back to this real quick, because, man, if some of the folks that just piled in, if you're going to be in and around the city in the morning hours, it is going to be ugly. I can't stress it enough. We're going to have our water spout cam going tomorrow. We'll be tracking this as well, trying to give everybody kind of the 411 on where this goes. But look at Kenmore, North Buffalo. A lot of times everybody says, oh, it's just a Southtown thing, right? This lake effect has absolutely plastered from the Pennsylvania line all the way to the shoreline of Lake Ontario. And it doesn't, look at tomorrow afternoon, Dave. This is noon. Anybody want to go to lunch in Niagara Falls tomorrow? I don't think so.
No, you know what? Yeah, it's going to be ugly, messy afternoon. The kind of afternoon, I mean, you don't even want to step outside. You just want to lay in bed under covers for as long as you possibly can. That kind of morning, afternoon.
Soup day.
Yeah, soup day. But there's good news. I mean, get past Thursday, Friday, you're going to get a lot of vitamin D.
Yeah.
Saturday, beautiful. I mean, you're itching the winter jackets on Friday and Saturday. Winter is going to be in the rear view mirror. Back to fall, leaf peeping weather. You're going to love it. I think somebody was asking about Thursday going leaf peeping on Thursday. I would say the better day to do that, Friday and Saturday.
When would you rather have this type of weather? Would you rather have it on a random Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or the weekend? I think you'd rather have the weekend looking like that. We said this before. This has been the worst week of weather we've had since last winter. And now here's a quick question. We haven't touched on the winds, David, along with this. But when we talk about the lake effect, and you have an organized band in this type of manner, this is something that, let me bring this full again. Anytime you're near the edge of the lake effect, and we're talking right in here, if you can see the cursor, that is where you're going to find gusty winds. Now, it might not be that windy. You'll get average winds when you're away from it. But anytime you're near the edges of lake effect, Dave, you've chased all sorts of storms. When you're near the edge of an organized lake effect band, they can be I'll call them vicious, because they seem to come from all different directions.
Yeah, when you're inside the bands of lake effect, it's kind of eerie, because you don't have those strong winds compared to being on the outside. I mean, I was in downtown Buffalo today, And we just showed you that time lapse a while back. I mean, that's not really downtown. That's actually more,
Yeah.
South Buffalo, that is, off of Furman Boulevard. But just being on the outside looking in, I mean, there's some good gusts that were shaking the vehicle when I was making that time lapse. But I mean, yeah, on the outside, the bands, like you were mentioning, it gets really gusty. But you can see, just look at the water, by the way. You can see the winds just pushing it towards the city of Buffalo. And that's a good indication that we were seeing winds out of the southwest, those southwesterly bands. And that's what's keeping or directing all that heavy rain and eventually, that rain snow mix in the portions of Buffalo and eventually into the north towns, possibly up towards Batavia, Medina, and Lyndonville, as you're seeing right there in the predictive model.
Hey, let me throw a couple of comments on the screen. This is why we're doing this, folks, because we know you're getting this. You're getting your weather on digital. It's no secret. And this is where people find it. They get the information they need. You're not waiting for your weather. You want the weather when you want it, not when someone's going to serve it to you. We appreciate the kind words, Scott. It goes a long way. Kamar, the same thing. I appreciate the words. I know David feels the same way. This is why we're doing this. And we're going to keep doing this because the weather's important to you when it matters to you, and you can dip in and dip out and take it and get what you need. We appreciate it. We love this. And watching another iPad out there, David, that's kind of cool. I like that.
You don't need to leave the couch. You just had the tablet on your lap and you're watching, and it's iPads are very convenient. Absolutely.
So should we go? We'll do this one last time, and we're going to bring this to an end. I know we're coming up on 9:30. So this is what we have now. Here's where the snow is going to organize and the areas it's going to target. The deeper south towns, this is about 3 a.m. through around 5 a.m. And that's where we're going to find the snow accumulating on some sections of the higher elevations of Collins, Concord, Holland, Colden. Kissing Bridge might get their first shot out of this, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, just a couple of days ago, I was seeing a rain snow mix on Kissing Bridge, the Boston Hills, on one of their cameras. But, if they haven't seen any snow stick to the ground, well, here comes another good chance Thursday morning as that band begins to shift on north.
And here we go. We're going to take this now around 9 o'clock in the morning. And we're going to bring this a little tighter into the city. This is when the city, Cheektowaga, the airport, has the airport at Buffalo. Let me bring it back up. Has the airport at Buffalo reported their first snowflakes of the season yet?
They've reported hail, not just
hail.
yesterday, but today as well. They had hail.
So tomorrow is the best shot at getting actual a report out of light snow at the airport.
And
hail is. Yeah.
And by the way, I was going to say that it's right around this time, October 24th is when the airport typically sees its first or reports its first flake of snowfall.
Yeah, we're in the area.
About a month later, I want to say it's the first accumulation.
Yeah. Some flakes tomorrow the timing is about right. An inch tomorrow would be not unheard of, but a little earlier than normal. All right, let's move this forward. I got to go to look at this. We're not talking about the southern tier. We're in the north towns tomorrow as we get to the noon hour and beyond. And this is now all the way up in the Niagara Falls, Lockport, pretty much swallows up Niagara County.
Yeah, it's going to be a messy afternoon. I mean, that's right around 3 to 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
I think you're running out of weather words, Dave.
Yeah, I know. But once we go into it's going to be soupy weather. How about that?
Yep.
And then once we go into the evening commute home for work, Buffalo, Tonawanda, this is when that band begins to shift down south. Finally, once we go into the evening, you're starting to see that band begin to mix on out. And by 11 o'clock, I mean, it is gone.
Yeah.
Now we'll be looking forward to gorgeous weather for the weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
This is like instant replay. So here's where it disappears. That's 11 o'clock Thursday. Here it is, 5 o'clock. Full bore going and then just dies right out. We were going to wrap this up, but I've got to tell you, we'll hang a couple more minutes because a whole bunch of people just popped in. Great to have you along. Meteorologist Andy Parker, Dave Vogan doing the Brady Bunch right below me there. This is what we're watching, and this is the predictive model that takes you through Thursday. And if you want to ask some questions on the screen, go ahead. We can see them. We'll answer them in real time with you. Happy to do it. Let's bring this back real quick for the folks that are just jumping in. This is what we're seeing right now. That's where the rain snow mix is. By the time we get into the overnight hours, maybe 3 to 5 a.m., it's some of the deeper south towns on the hills. We'll bring this full. And then there you can see what happens as we get into the morning commute. It's some of the south towns. Lancaster, city of Buffalo is in there right at the morning hours as well. And then as it goes from what we would call 7, 8, 9, right through the city up into the north towns. But I want to freeze it here because there's just such a densely populated area as we widen this out. This is not just the city. It's the city is along there, but it's really the access that takes it all the way out to Batavia and points. I mean, just is eventually going to get Rochester with some form of precip, whether it's rain or snow.
Yeah, I mean, you're just mentioning how long and big this band of lake effect is going to stretch into Rochester. This is just, it's more organized compared to what it was today.
Yeah.
And you're looking at the yellows and the reds. That's indicating some, heavy rain or snow, especially up towards the Akron area. The blues, that's what that's indicating. But this is going to be in the downtown Buffalo area just in time for the morning commute and the work. Lifts north during the day up towards Grand Island, Niagara Falls, then back down into another round of rain and snow for those of us into Akron and Lancaster, you folks out there for the evening, and then it's gone once we go late into Thursday night.
Let's do this. The amount of time, so it starts in the city at 7 in the morning. And then watch this as it goes. Here we are at noon. It's all the way up to the falls, swallows up Medina, Albion, Lockport. This is a mess, and it sticks around all the way through the evening commute before it fades. So does that mean that the southern tier is completely out of the woods during this event? It does not. You're going to see lighter precip down there. But here you go as we go from, let's take the morning hours, probably the messiest, the pre-dawn, then it leaves. You guys are okay. But then I think just as this exits, you'll get one last shot of snow or rain snow mix on its way out. But then when it disappears, it disappears. And if you haven't heard yet, this is what's coming up the next few days. Certainly a heck of a lot better than what we have certainly now. Thursday's done. It's a memory. People will golf this weekend. All right. I wasn't going to put this on the screen because I didn't want to put it on the spot. But the coming snow season, what do we always tell people? It's going to snow in Western New York. And we're likely to get between 75 and 100 inches for the airport. And it's how it does. It's a rarity that you're outside of that range. And the question is, will most of it come in 1 month, or will it be spread equally throughout the winter? And at this stage of the game, we're really just focused on this particular event in this one. But if this is of interest to people, we'll take a longer look and give it a peek. But for now, that's what we're focusing on. Hey, it's been great to have you along, and we'll pop back up. Happy to have everybody out there watching on the small screens tonight. It's been our pleasure. Meteorologist Andy Parker, along with David Vogan here, Storm Chaser. We'll get him out actually chasing some of this snow if it sticks, and we'll do that for you. But for now, have a great evening. Smash the like button before you go. It's been our pleasure to do this for you, and we will do it again. So make sure you like and subscribe so you can be alerted that when we light this up. If you also haven't done it, text SNOW to 503-ANDY, 503-ANDY, 2639. And then you can also get a text alert when something big is happening. Have a great night, everybody.